So don't have no chocolate. Okay. So, 2 graphs to start because a lot of otaku really don't grasp this. Okay. Everyone knows the 1 to 10 rating for the opposite sex or the preferred sex. The 1 to 10 rating, 10 is definitely would bang, 1 is I'll just masturbate, thanks. So
that's only 4 o'clock.
I know.
Okay, so here's how dudes do the 1 to 10 scale. Okay? So 1 is would not bang, 2 is twice as hot as 1, 3 is 50% hotter than 2. It's 1 more, right? It's 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, until you get to 10, and that's the hottest you can possibly get. Okay? And dudes, basically, their cutoff line is like 5-ish, right? Depending on how much they had to drink, whether the person is an ethnicity they have a fetish for, whatever. Like, oh, she's a double bagger, but you should see her ass, right? So it goes back and forth, right? So for dudes, 5 is approximately, maybe 4, maybe 6. Kind of depends. If you got absurdly high standards, I only do 8s and 9s and 10s because I drive a Maserati and I piss money. I mean, sure, I'm like 80 and I have body hair like a bear, but I piss money.
Sterling.
Okay, so for women, they also have a 1 to 10 scale. Their scale looks like this. No, seriously. Like I think it was OkCupid did some infographic, they analyzed their database. So it's geometric. Women who recognize that they are 3 out of 10, their cutoff line is here. Women who know they're 10 out of 10, their cutoff line is there. If a dude ranks less than 8, 7 on a bad day if they feel really fat, women won't look at him. Do we see a disconnection here?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of dudes who just don't pick up on this. Women have a logarithmic scale, men have an arithmetic scale of would bang, would not bang. Okay, so guys, on average, we are on average here. What does that tell you? Our chances are, on average, it rhymes with bad, you loser fucks.
0 to fucking 9.
Okay, so those are the first 2 graphs I wanted to do. However, there are 2 simple rules for dudes or for ladies who feel like they're down here and who are down here but don't realize it, or who are up here and think they're down here because honestly there are a lot of people who have no idea how they appear to other people because they have an image in their head of how they look and they just don't get how other people see them. Okay, so I like to lecture about things. It makes me feel all smart. Okay, here are the 2 rules for getting all the pussy or dick that you want. Okay, you've probably seen these on the internet before.
Yep.
1. Be this is the kicker. This is the one that most weebs don't get. Don't be
You.
Okay, now, this sounds like a joke, but it seriously does work. Okay, here's how it works. You're walking down the street and you see an average person. You don't think, oh my God, I want to take your pants off and fuck. Okay, so if you're 18, you might think that. But you're a girl. But most people, they see a person of average looks. They're like, oh God, I just want to fuck them. They're not really unattractive, right? They're just not super attractive. Okay, here's the thing. Has anyone here walked past the Pokemon game station? Right? Has anyone smelled? Right? Yeah. All the dudes to look at these 2 ladies in the front. They're doing this without memory. Seriously, I took you, Asakawa, and Brad and Chris, the voice actors, past there. I didn't know. I was like, we'll just cut through this hallway. Oh, it's full of people. Oh well. Bam! And the smell hit me, and our eyes were watering, and we could feel it in our skin. Okay. So management classes call that sort of thing a hygienic motivator, not because they didn't bathe, but because in the absence of certain things, you are worse, right? Like money for most people is a hygienic motivator. If they don't get paid, they won't work, right? So in the same way, bathing, if you don't bathe, you're not gonna get pussy. Or dick. So, but a lot of, like, clearly from the smell at the Pokemon station, a lot of weebs don't get this. The hygienic motivators for not being unattractive: don't be stanky. Don't smell like cheese. Don't smell like gym socks. Don't smell like shame, by which I mean dried semen. You'd think I was kidding.
No.
I wish I was kidding. Okay, but the don't be an attractive thing. So when you're a 300-pound neckbeard ham beast, you are unattractive. Not because you're a terrible person, but because when you get within 5 feet of someone, all they can smell is cheese. So the ways you don't be unattractive, okay? Here's the things that are considered unattractive: smelling funny, looking bad. Okay, looking bad is kind of a crapshoot because of your genetics. If you got dealt a bad hand genetically and your nose looks like something that Osamu Tezuka would have drawn on one of his characters, there's not a lot you can do about that without a lot of money, and a lot of us don't have a lot of money. But here's the important thing. Being 330 pounds, and I know, is considered unattractive. The difference between being 330 pounds and being like 200 pounds, this is going to blow your minds. I have to stop fucking eating cake. That's my secret, folks. I stopped eating cake. Except for this weekend, because the guests needed a lot of cake, and I had to provide it. And I was there, and I was like...
That wasn't a lie.
Plus it's what? Yes, the cake is a lie.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, and I'll go on to how not to eat cake later, but this is an actual rule. Bathe yourself, work out a little if you feel like it. Don't eat all the cake in the world. Like, count your calories and you're good. And then there's this thing about, there's one more chart I need to draw. This is exactly like another one. Okay, this is the time versus attention chart. The ladies are pretty sure they know where this is going because they've all experienced this. Normal human interaction works like this. 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. Okay? Attention. Total stranger, right? First date, 10th date, right? Getting pretty serious, engaged or married, love of life forever, right? The standard human progression looks like this. Do you grasp this? Love of life, 10 fucking years. Okay. Also, there's something that looks kind of like this. Okay. When you're driving along and you're looking out in the distance, you can, if you're looking like this, right, your field of vision, 2 miles down the road, you can see fucking everything, right? You can see like 2 miles wide, right? But 10 feet in front of your car, you can see about 10 feet wide, right? So you should know like 50 people a little bit, right? And spend, an average amount of time with people that you've only known for a day or two, or a week or two, or a month or two, right? And the love of your life, you can focus on them while you're still focusing on these 50 people, right? But for someone to get here, you have to go along this tube. Let me show you the standard otaku graph, or the standard neckbeard graph. Now let me explain.
This is going in.
My roommate, who is a lovely human being,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
we had a mutual friend who was such a fucking neckbeard. Okay, so my roommate was dating a guy who was a nice enough guy. They broke up. It was okay. They're still friends. They still get along, right? But she broke up with this guy. Every male friend she had, still has a lot of them, is a weeb. And about 95% of them, all the women are going, 95% of the weebs are neckbeards. And they think it goes like this because they've seen a lot of anime where it goes like this. Anime is fictional. I've known you a week. I love you more than anything else. Let's get married. Can anyone think off the top of their head of an anime where that happens? Hands up.
Yes.
Yeah, let me say Sailor Moon. Oh, now we can all remember Foundation. Okay. Here's what happens in real life. Because everyone else is expecting this. So this chart is common to neckbeards and weebs. It's also common to criminal stalkers. Which is why ladies get nervous when you do that. So, don't be unattractive includes knowing about this. If you've known someone for a week, feel free to say, you know what? I like you. I think you're really cute, and I would like to take you out for coffee or dinner or a movie. And here's the thing, if they say no, they're up here. They're down here. The love of your life has not just broken up with you. You've only known them for a fucking week, you goddamn neckbeard. Okay? So, there should be 50 people you know that you can just go, hi, we don't know each other all that well. How would you like to go out for coffee? Or people that you've just met. You're 18. And you're a girl. But I could go, say, to Nicola, who's cosplaying Sona, and say, we've known each other for a bit longer, but let's say we'd only met that day, and I say, hey, you're pretty cute, and we share this common interest in whatever, how'd you like to go for coffee? And if I'd hypothetically done that the day we'd met, what would you have said?
Is there homemade ice cream involved?
Turns out, by the way, you've all seen that internet chart about virginity age meter, 14, good, 18, oh god, 22, you're still a virgin, you're in so much trouble, you're gonna live in your parents' basement forever, 30, you've gained wizard powers. Right, so I mentioned that theology degree, yeah, I'm still popping fresh, right? You really do get wizard powers. Allow me to describe. I have create ice cream as a first level spell. Hands up who here has had my homemade ice cream? Hands up who here would kill a man to ensure continued access to my homemade ice cream? Okay? When I say magical fucking powers, I'm not kidding. Okay.
Fucking eating waffle off the floor.
Yeah. Also waffles. I make some waffles. I make pretty adequate waffles. People literally, they'd like, I dropped your waffle on the floor! People who don't normally eat food off the floor.
Logan.
Yeah. Okay. People besides Logan. Okay, so.
You got the talent.
Yeah, thank you. And this is getting into the be attractive territory, which we'll get more into in a second here, right? But so the point is, if you find someone attractive and you've just met them, because here's the other thing that neckbeards do. This is how it'll work. We'll be really good friends forever, and then she'll marry me. Ladies, has this ever worked?
No.
No, okay. Not because the friend zone exists, it doesn't. But rather because if you spent 10 fucking years very firmly establishing, oh no, so I'm not actually interested in you, let's just be friends, let's be friends for a month, let's be friends for a year, I just want to be friends with you. We're friends for years, you broke up with your boyfriend, good, can I put my dick in you? That's how it comes across. Think about your male friends, okay? Dudes, and imagine if you broke up with your SO. Okay, let's imagine you had an SO, and then you broke up, and your male friend turns to you and says, dude, you're single now? Yeah. Can I put my dick in you? Now, without judging about the whole gay thing, oh, he's gone. Okay. Totally judging the gay thing. So the point is, the sort of, you want to put your dick in me? But we're buds. We don't have this romantic thing, right? Most of us would say that if our dude friends would be like, I want to put my dick inside you. Like, A, I didn't know you thought about anybody male that way. B, I didn't know you thought about me that way. Oh, I do. I've just been hiding it for 2 years. So all the times we were friends and we were hanging out, you were just biding your time until you could put your dick inside me? Well, it's not like that. I like you as a person. Okay, my answer is no. Oh, well, then we'll stop being friends. Then yeah, the entire 2 years you were just biding your time until you could try to put your dick inside me. That would be weird, right, guys? If your best friend or your friend for 2 years just, oh good, can I put my dick inside you? No, I'm gonna leave. That's why this doesn't work. Okay, this turns into your male dude friends going, can I put my dick inside you? That's how weird that feels to the girls. Because they don't assume that you want to put your dick inside them. Because you didn't ask. And after 2 years, now there's many situations in which, you know what, we've been friends for 2 years, something has started, right? That's different than, I'm a sleeper agent for the dick inside you account. I'm a spy all this time. I've been trying to gain access to your vagina with being nice, okay? Being nice is, stop being nice to girls. Stop being nice to girls. Be nice to people, right? Don't be nice to people because you want to put your dick inside them. Because guess what? They notice. They're like, say, Tyler, I've noticed that, you know, at the auction, you're like, fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck, hey, pretty cosplayer. You're nice. And Lala, your pussy is old and floppy. You, dude with the orange, your pussy is raw. It's like a walrus having a heart attack. But you, pretty girl. Being nice is not quarters you can put into the machine that pussy comes out of. Okay? You can't do that. So these two graphs, this explains why being a nice guy, that's unattractive. Okay? If you want to be a nice guy, here's what you do. You be nice to everyone. You don't be like, oh, I've not been a nice enough person today, I'm going to go shovel that old lady's walk. You purposefully go out of your way every day and go, okay, have I tried to improve the lives of the people around me? No. I should probably work on that. Be nice to everyone, and women will notice that you're a nice human being. Okay? Don't be unattractive. Okay, be attractive is going to wait until after this part of the auction. All right. So we've got 3 bits left to finish off the auction with. Or the charity auction, because then we've got the regular auction.
Yep.
Okay, we've got me. I surround myself with beautiful women of exceptional quality all the time. And they're like, yay, ice cream, yay! And they like to hang around me. And I'm not like, oh good, I have access to put my dick in things, because that's not why I do it, and that's not what I'm doing. I just want to contrast this situation, and I'm not trying to use her as an example, it's an example of a lifestyle, but there's this, where you treat women like human fucking beings, with admittedly slightly different genital orientation, or not in the case of Kakoi. And they start treating you like a normal human being that they can hang out with, because you're not trying to put your dick in them. Because you're not part of the council of sticking your dick in things. Okay, so, point being, stop being a fucking neckbeard. This, stop doing this. You remember the guy with the Brazilian girlfriend from last year?
Yeah.
He thought this chart was a good idea. Now, admittedly, he'd watched a lot of anime and read a lot of manga, where they have fantasy stuff going on. Now, I'm talking about sexual fantasy, I mean, obviously that's included, but a lot of our manga and anime tells fairy tales, basically. Romance fairy tales, like Yori Ayoshi, right?
Yeah.
The guy meets her, she moves in with him, she's cooking for him, she's trying to fuck him. After a week.
Damn.
Yeah, no.
That's this chart. It's a cute story. It doesn't actually happen unless people are really fucked in the head. So the guy with the Brazilian girlfriend was operating on this principle. He He had not met her in real life. He might have known her for a year of time. And I'm not saying internet relationships don't work, because I have some really good friends that married. They met on the internet. They dated for years on the internet. They met in real life. 3 months later, they were married. I think it was, and they're fantastic. And they're a great couple. So I'm not saying this is universal, but he met her on the internet. He had not been in physical contact with her ever. And he is like, my girlfriend in Brazil that I'm going to go visit, but she doesn't want to go. She doesn't want me to visit. Why? Because he thought he was up here, and she was like, "Bitch, we're here." He's like, "No, but I want to be up here," and she's like, "Okay, so if you want to be up here, you have to be the fuck over here." So, guy with the Brazilian girlfriend, and he's not here, though you are actually going on the date with him.
Dinner, yeah.
Dinner. They're going.
Yeah.
It's been a year, but they are finally getting around to it. This is the girl that we as a group set him up with. Applause again, because also has the patience of a saint.
Yep.
But yeah, it's
I don't care about
there's a problem.
patience.
And most of my roommates' friends who were like, "Oh, good, you're single. Can I put my dick inside you?" They were operating on this chart. She actually got to the point. I hope you don't mind my telling this because it's really funny. Eventually, she was like, "I hereby renounce all dicks until at least after I'm graduated. I will shank the next bitch that tries to ask if he can put my dick inside me." And all our male friends were like, "Fuck," because they were weeds and neckbeards, and they were operating on this one, except this one guy.
Uh-oh.
This one guy whose name I'm not going to say. We're going to call him Grease because everyone likes Italia, right? So, Grease was like, "I confess my love to you." And she was like, "Okay, I don't want you to put your dick inside me. I'm sorry, I think you're a really cool friend, but I am not looking for a sleeper agent of the Putting Dicks and Things Council." And he was like, oh, okay. Okay. Now, normal people who are not fucking neckbeards are like, "Oh, I find this girl attractive. Maybe I've let it go too long without mentioning it, but I find it attractive. I'll mention. I think there's something I have feels for you." "Oh no? Okay. Well, I mean, I've got plenty of other friends here. I don't need to fixate on one fucking person as if they were 10 feet in front of the vision of a car, right? They're out here. I don't have to fixate on them. There's 50 other people that I can talk to and be humans with, right? Except Grease. Grease says, "Okay." And then like 6 months later, he's like, "So I'm not entirely sure you understood me. I love you. I confess my feelings to you." As if waiting 6 months was a good idea, and as if repeating himself was a good, okay, who here has gone to the government and said, "I don't want to pay my taxes," and the government has said, "You still have to pay your taxes," and has gone, "Oh, I'll just wait 6 months and tell them again," and then they'll understand and say, "Okay, you don't have to pay your taxes." Has anyone tried that? No, because you'd be in jail. So again, in this sort of context, 6 months later, he's like, "I love you," and she's like, "Yeah, you said that." He's like, "Well," and she's like, "Good luck with dating someone else who's not me, because I'm still not interested in a fucking sleeper agent for the council of people who want to put their dicks inside me."
1.5 hours.
And he was like, "Oh,
1.5 hours.
Nice.
okay, we'll just be friends then." And she's like, "Thank you, he gets it." Foolish.
Son of a bitch.
Little
So a
note.
couple months later, she's like talking to her friend, and she's like, "Have you noticed that he's like super nice to me, but not to anyone else?"
Oh dear.
And her friends are like, "Yeah. You mean how you spent the last 6 months doing nothing but trying to build your cosplay props, doing a poor job of it, but making a lot of effort, and did shit all for the rest of us, even though he's supposed to be helping us with cosplay props?" And she was like, "Yeah, I noticed that. That was kind of weird." And they're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Huh. Also, he keeps trying to tickle me." Yeah. Guys, here's a pro tip. If a woman is not sexually interested in you, by which I mean if she's not fucking you, don't touch her. Like handshakes, like the occasional head pat if you're really close. Don't fucking try it. Yeah, don't do that. So I stepped into this point and I said, Grease, I'm trying to be a good friend to you, because even though he was pissing me off with his attitude toward my roommate, I was like, I still think you're a decent human being when you're not trying to put your dick in things of life, and I want to express love to all people by improving their life conditions. So I think in this case, because the soft message hasn't worked, I'll say this. If you make physical contact with her again, I will break you in half with my bare hands. And he went, you're much larger than I am. And I went, yeah. And I really like violence. And I train for violence once or twice a week. And I never get to use it. Unless someone gives me an excuse. We're still friends, I need to emphasize, Grease. But I really like a chance to just break someone. And he was like, I'll stop trying to make physical contact with her. And I was like, okay, good. Goodness. I think that will improve the lives of both of my friends. So a couple months passed.
Oh dear.
And, okay, so the long story getting much shorter is he eventually did not make physical contact with the roommate again. Proving that sometimes the message will get through. Ladies, if the guy won't back off, stop soft pedaling the message. Turn to your brother or your very large male, possibly gay friend and say, could you please tell him that you will snap him in half, kneecap-wise or dick-wise? You've been doing this to walnuts for like 3 years and you want to practice on a testicle? And explain to him to stop fucking doing that, and they will. But if they're a neckbeard, they think, I'm working on this chart, eventually she'll love me. They have to be convinced that no, you stop here. This is where the line ends. And once they get that, they revert to sort of being, they'll still pine for you and masturbate into a sweat sock while crying at night. But they won't express it to you anymore. So ladies, you do need to tell your male friends, no, I will never let you put your dick in me. I would literally rather squat over a bullet ant hole and let them nibble. Because that physical pain would suck less than being physically intimate with you, and it will shatter their egos. But I need to point this out to you, they need that. They need to be broken before they can be remade into human porn. I needed to be broken. I had a friend who I was like, I think you're the most beautiful woman. And she was like, you're fat. She was Asian. And I deeply appreciate that friend who I still constantly hang out with, and we are great friends because, unlike every other woman I tried that with, I was like, oh wait, that was a really shithead thing of me to do. This whole trying to put niceness quarters into her like she was just an object instead of an actual human being. I should stop that. I should fucking stop that because that's an asshole thing. And I stopped, and we're really, really good friends because I'm not trying to put my dick inside her. Magical, right?
Yeah.
Grease, however, didn't figure that out, and Grease decided that he was going to keep pulling shit, and eventually he was like, he was over at her apartment. He didn't do anything, but he was over at her apartment, and he was helping with cosplay stuff, and Grease decided that in spite of the very clear rules we had, because I have a lot of power tools and...
Oh, yeah.
No, not just because of that. I do a lot of construction of stuff. I do blacksmithing, I do leather work, I do like really, really bad carpentry. But I have a lot of power tools because I put stuff together a lot. So we have our friends over to do cosplay shit and like form Warbler with heat guns and shit like this, and it's a great old time. But we have some rules like, you don't paint inside because we have a fucking carpet and paint doesn't come out of that shit. You know, if you're gonna use a heat thing, you don't leave it plugged in. I have a leather couch. Don't sit on that while you've got a fucking X-Acto out. You know, simple shit, right?
Yep. Don't
be a fucking asshole is the TLDR of our house rules for cosplay. So he leaves, And I walk out into the living room like, hey, roommate, was Grease here? Yeah. So there's like an inch of foam shavings on the carpet, which I'm like, oh, foam, ew. I'm just like, no, he didn't clean it. And there's foam because he had a Dremel and he just sort of sanded the foam down. Like he sanded that much foam down into dust and it sort of settled everywhere. And I was like, maybe not do that? So we talked to him and he's like, oh, well, that mess wasn't mine, but I'm such a nice guy that I'll come and clean it for you guys because I'm nice. I'm doing you a favor. So my roommate had some words with him about that shit not being cool, and he was super, super butthurt. And he went home really mad because he was like, and also, I will never have your dick inside me. That is not going to happen ever. So he went home and he did what any red-blooded man would do in that situation. He unfriended me. Because I am the cock blocker of the neckbeards. Because all the neckbeards in here are like, oh shit, he is. He just told the women to tell us to go fuck ourselves. We're never going to get to put our dicks inside them. Guys, you are.
Thank you.
We handled this. I mean, not with the women that are going to tell you to fuck off, but there are other women out there. There's like 3 billion of them. And one of them is going to have low enough standards to fuck you if you follow my advice. We'll get to this later, but we've already covered this, we've got this handled, we've covered this in a bit, and then you'll probably be able to fuck something someday. But yeah, and then 3 days later he was like, all right, I've downloaded all of her available Facebook photos so I can masturbate for years, and he unfriended her after 3 days. Just to make that point that I was a bad person. We're not really sure what his thought process was, except that unfriending me was definitely a priority. Probably because, let's be honest, he didn't want to put his dick inside me. Which is wrong of him because... Seriously, this booty, we'll get to this when we're talking about the attractive. These pants are 30% rayon. Because I do squats, heavy squats. My booty is so magnificent now. If I wear regular blue jeans and I try to like do more than this, I was at Costco, I was like, okay, new pants, good, they fit, do-do-do-do-do. They fit as long as they're standing up. Do-do-do, oh good, something at Costco. And I got about here, and there, it wasn't a rip noise, it was a and my booty literally exploded in my pants. Like there was a rip, it was that long, just went BAM! And I stood back up and I was like, I now understand why women bitch about buying pants. Because most dudes have pancake asses and their legs are tubes. So you take 2 cylinders of fabric and you go thump and you're done, right? Anyone here notice that women have asses that don't look like that? Guess what that does to fabric? Those don't fit into tubes. So now I understand why yoga pants are a thing now. Because seriously, you can walk in any store and go, oh, yoga pants. And you can do this, and it doesn't go BAM! So this is literally the last size of pants I can wear because I've been losing weight. In the last year I haven't lost any weight, but I have converted about 10 to 15 pounds of the weight I've got into muscle. A lot of that being in my ass. And when your ass goes from pancake to right here, what happens is men's pants don't fit you anymore. So from now on, I'm going to have to buy like size 42-inch pants because those will maybe fit my ass. And just have my roommate take in the weight. Because I wear like 34, 32 waist. But seriously, if I wasn't wearing 30% rayon jeans, boom, every time. Oh God. Hey, it's fuck men's pants, is my point. Right, so that's about the end of the big chunk of ranting.
And thank you for the advice.
The guys in the room are like, if I'm nice enough to her, would she? What? What? You're the worst one for wanting to put your dick inside things. I can respect that. Not you. That.
A statement.
All right. Oh yeah, here's another thing. Because a lot of neckbeards don't get this. Women, okay, a lot of dudes who try this line right? They don't get this part. Women, and I know this will blow your mind, like sex. Okay, this is going to blow your mind. Women have orgasms. But they should know they can't come in 5 minutes. Well, no, they can't. I didn't say they can have orgasms as fast as you, but they can have them. They like sex. So here's the thing. This whole, I'll pretend to just be their friends because women don't want sex until it's true love.
Doesn't.
Okay, I'm not going to ask the women to put up their hands, but ladies, just give a shout out if you had the choice between not having sex for 10 years and then having sex with your one true love, which is great, or, you know, having sex occasionally for 10 years and then having sex with your one true love, would you pick the second option?
Yes.
Guys, take note. I'm not saying, you know, pump and dump, right? I am saying you don't need to be here to have a hope of ever kissing a girl. Okay? You can smooch down here because it starts from zero and it goes up, right? This interest, this attention, this maybe I'll bang you chart. For some women, the would bang line cuts off here, right? If they grew up Mormon.
Last one.
I'm not Mormon, by the way, or JW. I'm like standard, bog standard, middle Protestant. But, you know, there's like the Mormon chicks, they're up here. And then there's girls who are totally into punk rock and hipster things, and they have tattoos and piercings. And they can be up here too, by the way. But there's other women who did not grow up Mormon, or who did grow up Mormon, but they drank Coke anyways. They're like, yeah, I'll fuck a dude after knowing him for a month, because he's a real human being and I find him attractive, and I don't think that knowing someone for 10 years is a prerequisite for having sex. Now, I personally have some moral issues with like just banging random strangers. But dudes, if you're like, oh, I'll never have sex until I know someone for 10 years, and they're my one true love, and I mean, if you're 11, then yeah, waiting 10 years might be a little long, but it's not like super short. If you're 35, waiting 10 years puts you at 45, there are some boats you've missed at that point. The ships have sailed. They are over the horizon of that salty sea. There we go. So what I'm saying is, don't buy this just because it's the only thing you'll ever get to come on. Okay? Women are open to having sex with people that they have not known for 10 years. And women, like, they're 50 at this point. I give a fuck. Okay? Because women are human beings, and they, like you, have genitals. And their genitals, like yours, also get tingly occasionally.
Get that check.
What? I didn't know that.
You should get that check.
Tingly, not itchy. Anyways, my point is, remember that women are human beings, not alabaster sculptures on pedestals that do not have orgasms. Because, oh man, here's a story I read on 4chan. Of course, with that opener to go poorly. 14-year-old girl.
Oh no.
Goes, her dad has a Harley. And he's like, hey, I'm going down to the store, you want to come with me? She's like, yeah, she hops on the back of the Harley.
Well then.
Yeah. Had her first orgasm, ripping her dad's jacket, riding behind him on the motorcycle at 14.
That's awkward for everyone.
Yeah. Her dad didn't know, right? But she's just like, this was a terrible idea. I'm going to have the weirdest fetishes for the rest of my life.